And we're live again. Except we're probably live this time.
I can see the live button this time. We're live.
We did. Well, anybody who's not us, it's always tempting. Like the normal professional thing would just be to try to pretend that nothing happened, and I didn't screw things up by thinking we were live when we weren't live. But no, I didn't press the go live button, and then we were talking for about 5 minutes, having a great conversation, and yeah. So anyway, this may be a little bit of a deja vu thing, but what are you up to this week?
I don't remember now.
Well, let's mix it up for those people who didn't know. May King, what are you up to this week?
I've been doing a lot of working on my business stuff, you know, that kind of stuff that you're supposed to do in business. And I've had a couple of really interesting projects that have potentially come up. So I've been writing a couple of discussion documents, as we like to call them. So that's been a lot of fun, and caught up with a couple of friends as well, just on Zoom, but you know, friends nevertheless. And that's been the week that I've had. It's been a really good week this week.
Oh, yay!
And
that's awesome. As I told you previously, Tim got his Love is Our Superpower mug, which is
your brand.
Yes, it's my brand. You can get it online. So I've been working on my brand marketing and just making sure that things are running through the streams constantly. That's pictures, that's videos, that's sayings. I've been working on that, making sure that's constantly going. I did an online interview yesterday. I'm going to be sending out a press release. So I'm working on that. And I too, you know what? Guess what? I got to chat with 2 friends from the UK this week. So that was fun. No, actually that's 3 because I can't forget James.
I didn't give birth in the call.
So that was fun. Chatting, learning about people, just having fun, telling stories. So that's what I've been doing. Tim, tell us about you.
Well, I've been working on this course I've been doing for my small business live training course center, and I'm very near to having my first course done, which will be a free course. It's a start. It's the start that matters. And I suppose, really, we probably should have said what is May King doing on the show this week. But it's like, hey, maybe that'll come as that'll be like a great secret until it actually comes to the serious bit section of the show. So, shall we pick another segment?
I think May King should be a regular. Like, people start to know May King here.
Well, I mean, fundamentally, Tuesday's always going to be an interview show.
Yeah.
But I think actually it makes some sense to occasionally have a guest on the Thursday show. But I don't want to change the show structure, which I've spent all of 1 week perfecting. So the next section is hot recommendations.
Hot recommendations. Oh, Tim, you go first.
Yeah, I didn't tell anybody about this, and I haven't really got any myself. But is there any books or YouTube videos or anything, any resources online that you come across this week that you thought, like, that's amazing? I'm really into that.
You know,
I know.
Okay, good. Yes. Yay.
I actually have one. Can I go?
Yeah.
So basically, I've been faffing around in business, you know, and I think I'm going to have to admit to myself, it's probably been an expensive hobby for, you know, many years. But this year's the time to get, But this year's the time to get serious, and I mean truly serious. And so I actually had the privilege of meeting an incredible guy last year, and his success intimidated me, and I confess this to him. And anyway, he's starting a YouTube channel from scratch, and I started watching it, and I thought, wow, It's absolutely incredible. Now, bit of a disclaimer. He has very kindly offered to be my coach so that I can get really serious with my business. But his YouTube videos are incredible because he's starting it from scratch. He's built successful businesses before, crashed for various reasons, and now he's building one again. And I love it because you see many of those videos of those people who've made their gazillions, they went bankrupt, and now they're starting up again, but they still have that alpha male sense to them, really. You know, they're still showing off with their cars and all the rest of it. We want to hear the journey, you know, how they got there and what happened, and we're actually sharing his journey with him as he builds up his YouTube channel. So anyway, the video that he released yesterday was about how to become the CEO of your small business. And he outlined the difference between being a small business owner, being a hobbyist, being an entrepreneur, and being a CEO. And I thought it was fascinating that there is a difference between CEO and entrepreneur. So my coach is called Tamer Shahin. So that's TamerShahin. And his YouTube channel is called CEO Entrepreneur. And I really genuinely think, not just because he's my coach, but anyone who's been faffing around in business for a while and wants to get serious, or, you know, just needs a bit of guidance on some stuff. I think we all need a little bit of help at the moment, don't we? You know, and I think his channel will really help with that. So that's that's what I listened to yesterday, and it was incredible.
That's fascinating. Let's put the link up because I'm going to go look at that too, since that sounds fascinating for what I'm doing and starting my business. So
amazing.
Yeah.
I want to
somebody either get your phone out and type it into the ping, or
I'll do that.
Or do it afterwards. Make a note to do it afterwards. Somebody in the comments tell us to do it afterwards.
Do it after. Tim, what's your hot recommendation?
Well, there's an interesting YouTube channel that I see occasionally appear. It's funny, I subscribe to YouTube channels, but it seems to be that YouTube just throws up random videos at times. It's not so keen on YouTube as subscriptions as it used to be. But it's this mathematician guy called Zach Starr, and a lot of his sort of maths videos are quite interesting. He does things about like how people misunderstand statistics and the rest of it. So it's probably quite dull for mainstream people, but I find it's quite interesting about like how it is very easy to misinterpret statistics and the like, because like just there's lots of weird mathematical things that people don't appreciate. So that's my recommendation in terms of a YouTube video this week.
I have a hot recommendation. You know, I like food. You know, I like going on food adventures. I'm going to recommend Mark Wiens, Weins, because he does really fun food adventures throughout the world. And his specialty is the street fairs. So street fairs throughout the world, where you can get street food and you get to go on the journey. And he's so excited about what he does. It's on YouTube. And if you're a foodie like me, if you get hungry just watching food or talking about food, that's me. It's so fun to watch him. And he's so excited and he just enjoys the food and the adventure. And so I'm going to recommend him this week. Definitely check him out. It'll keep you hungry though. Like I immediately want to eat everything he's eating. Last week I went to Japan and I saw ramen and a bunch of other foods local to Japan. A couple weeks ago, we went to Mexico and enjoyed Mexican food on his adventure and kind of pretended to eat vicariously through him. But it'll make you hungry for sure. A hot recommendation.
Right. It's the bit that everybody's been waiting for. It's the serious bit.
I can get serious with the serious bit popping up.
Dun, dun, dun.
So, you two lovely ladies want to talk about digital dating and that exciting world. Though you also mentioned catfishing. I wasn't sure. Christelle tells me it's not the how-to catfish guide that you were talking about. It was just the general concept. So, I will leave this to Christelle to start the conversation because I'm not sure where you wanted to go with this.
Well, Tim, do you know what catfishing is?
Yes, it's kind of where people, there are a lot of fake people online, and their interest in people is not in, it's not in romantic relationships. It's in generally ripping people off.
Wonderful. Yes. Yeah.
I do know that, obviously.
Okay.
Like,
it occurred to me because you asked me something about catfishing. I was like, okay, but May King, we want to talk about digital dating, but you brought up catfishing as part of the discussion in digital dating. Will you tell us first, what is catfishing? What does that mean?
Well, it's exactly as Tim said, you know, there are people who are not who they appear to be, and their ultimate goal is to manipulate people who are looking for love. And it's not exclusive to women either. It does happen to men as well. And so their ultimate game is to prey on vulnerable men and women who are looking for love for financial gain. And unfortunately, I've been victim of that. So, you know, I found myself unexpectedly divorced in a strange country, and not a strange country. Sorry, that I shouldn't say that. It's Australia. Australia's not a strange country. It's a wonderful country.
No, it is a strange country.
What I meant to say was, I was stranded by myself, had to fight immigration, and then, excuse me, and then I eventually lost the immigration battle and came back. And in my lowest of lows, I, just like your wonderful tea mug, I always knew love is everything. Love's absolutely everything, as your mug says, love is our superpower. And, I knew that I wanted to find love because it just enhances your life. I feel it enhances your life. You have to love yourself, but having someone love you or be in love, really enhances that as well. So I was looking for love, and I went on, Tinder, and got involved in a chap. He fell in love very quickly. And, there was this little niggly feeling, but I didn't listen to my gut reaction. And unfortunately, even the signs were all there. They were all there. And when he asked for money, and I still, there were a few times where I thought he must need the money more than I do. So, I'll just go ahead and give it to him. And honestly, it was the stupidest thing, but it's not stupid. It's just because it's just one of those things. And I was very embarrassed about it. I eventually put a stop to it because, it ran into thousands. And I knew he wasn't who he said he was. He promised to be in the UK, and he wasn't. And one of my dear friends said to me, you should tell your story because it'll inspire other people. And I thought, no, I'm too embarrassed. And it took me a year to actually do it. And when I put it on Facebook, actually, there were about 10 people around the world who suddenly told me their stories. And they said, oh my God, thank you so much for sharing your story. And 2 of them were male. And suddenly I was agony aunt to all of them, which it was such a privileged position to be in because they couldn't tell their folks, they couldn't tell their friends, they were too embarrassed and all the rest of it. But it happens to, to the best of us. It's not about being stupid or, it's just because we just want to seek love. And the signs are there, because, if they suddenly fall in love with you very quickly, if they start asking you for money, if they, if they can't show you who they are on video, you can't see the real person, then those are telltale signs. My only little regret, I don't regret much in life, my only little regret is that I didn't save the photograph so that I could report it to the police. I really should have done that because other people will have been affected as well. But, yeah, as I say, I told my story. I helped, these 10 people around the world. It was great to have the conversations and stuff. And it opened up a lot of wounds inside me. And I actually went into therapy afterwards because there was a lot more that I needed to, to cope with. It brought up a lot of stuff inside of me. However, there is a Hollywood ending. There's a Hollywood story at the end of it because it didn't deter me. No, it didn't deter me. I went on digital dating, and had a few, interesting dates, shall we say. And eventually, the funniest thing is that I was looking at this profile on Bumble this time. It's another dating app. And the chap I was looking at, the question was, we will get on well if, and it said something like, you're not on social media all the time. So, of course, being in my job, I thought, ooh, and I nearly swiped left, but the universe just allowed me to pause long enough to sort of send him a message and say, well, it's kind of my job. Is that okay? And a few months later, we are together. So there is a Hollywood ending, and that's Steve. So yeah. So yes, I've gone through the ringer a little bit with my experience of digital dating. But yeah, there's a Hollywood ending, and there's a Hollywood ending for you as well, Christelle, right?
A Hollywood ending. Well, what's funny is you mentioned Tinder and Bumble.
Yes.
Which those must be international because we have those here as well. We have Tinder and we have Bumble, and I didn't realize they were international. I thought they were only in America, but
oh, they do.
They're everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I know. I don't need to know, but now I know.
So, you could have gone on to it on the my location is north of England.
Tim likes to joke about the location of my boyfriend. This is why we got onto the discussion, though. We started talking about. No, you posted something about dating Steve and what you were doing. I think you posted you were watching a movie and doing something, and you can't wait to be in his arms again. And it was like this really colorful language, and that caught my attention. And I said, wait a minute, what is May King doing? And I realized that you were digital dating. You had met someone online somehow through your story. And I was like, May King, guess what? I can't see my boyfriend either. Until we're released from America, I can't travel.
Yeah.
So we realized and started laughing about our digital dating adventures. And this is really where the conversation started. How do you get creative with digital dating when you're not allowed to go anywhere or do anything? And so we have gotten creative. Now you've been able to see Steve.
Yeah, so last weekend was the first time that I saw him, and it was just wonderful, absolutely wonderful. But yeah, we were both super duper careful because of COVID. Yeah. My folks live with me, so I didn't need, and his day job is at a shopping centre, so he would be exposed to a lot of people. So we didn't want what if Steve had something? What if he passed it on to me? What if he passed it on to our folks? So that's why we decided to be super duper careful and not see each other for nearly 5 months, even though we only live, half an hour away from each other. And like you said, we got creative in, every day we'd go on WhatsApp. But he, like I say, by day, he's an operations manager for a shopping centre. And by night, he's Batman. No, he is a writer. And so he does a lot of studying, he does a lot of research. He watches films. He has a vision for his science fiction novels to be in a film. So he does a lot, he watches a lot of films to see, how it could be sort of scripted, screenplayed and all the rest of it. And I love films. It's probably one of the few things that I do outside of my business that I don't feel guilty about, which is really odd. So we hit play at the same time, on Netflix or Now TV or something like that. And we watch the films and we sort of we comment on the film as it's going, plot development, character development, and things like that. And it's lovely. It is absolutely lovely. And then we talk about it afterwards. And then I am one of those people who'll go down the Google rabbit hole, do a lot of research on the film afterwards, and listen to interviews and and that kind of stuff. And I'll sort of feed that into Steve as well on WhatsApp. And it's just a wonderful shared experience. That's what we do.
I love that. We've been trying to figure out how to watch movies together online. So you literally just push play at the same time, and then you're talking to each other by text on WhatsApp, or are you talking to each other by video?
No, texting each other on WhatsApp. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, the echo thing. That could happen. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, we don't talk to each other during the film. We sort of text each other. So there might have been, like if we were watching a comedy and we just remark on how funny that particular line was, or or if it's a suspense, we're thinking, oh, was it he who did it or she who did it, that kind of thing. And then if we had any surprises, like, oh my goodness, didn't realize that, So and then afterwards we tend to have a call, and then we'll chat about certain things that that we absolutely loved. So that's kind of what we do.
That's so fun. I love it. We get creative too. We've done things like we've gone online and we'll watch train YouTube videos together, but we do that. So we'll go on Zoom. We do the shared screen. Tim is always laughing at me.
I mean, I'm not at
you.
He laughs at our digital adventures. He cannot fathom how this girl from San Diego is watching all these programs in the UK. And I'm like, Tim, I'm dating someone from the UK. It makes perfect sense. So we started watching all the stations, and they have all their videos adventuring throughout the UK.
They're going to every single station around the UK. Well, they've been, I think, haven't they? Like, they visited every station in the UK. They do like a video of each line they go on. So.
Oh, really? That's amazing.
So that was one of the ways that we digital dated, and then we're able to. That allows me to see the UK and allows James to show me different parts of the UK. It's kind of a creative thing. We've gone on digital hikes where we'll find people who like to adventure through hikes, and they're taking you on their journey through YouTube, and we're just talking about it as we're with them. And so we do the share screen thing with YouTube videos. We haven't tried the movie thing, though we've talked about it. And then sometimes we will select a topic. Like, for example, we went to Japan. And so one of us found a way to adventure through food through Japan, a YouTube video. We chat about it, get hungry, what did we do? We did spiritual adventure in Japan. We had hikes lined up. We never got that far, but everything will be kind of around that theme.
So how long have you been doing these kind of long distance dates then with James? I mean, they sound like very involved now. They're like multi-hour kind of like almost military operation kind of events.
Well, but we don't just do that. We also read together. We laugh. We talk. But again, we're so far apart. We saw each other for the last time in February.
Yeah.
Aww.
And then we had to, everything was cut off. We couldn't travel. We had to cancel one trip. We wanted to make plans for another. We couldn't do that. And now everything is up in the air because no one's letting America in anywhere, nor should they at this point. But
you could creep over the border to Mexico and pretend to be Mexican, and then
ironically, that border is open. We can actually travel from America to Mexico, and that border is open. But I don't think
that's probably the first time in history that people have pretended to be Mexican rather than American.
I don't think anyone taking I still have an American passport. I can't.
Yeah.
Also, there is a health risk involved. I don't want to bring get anyone sick along the journey or along the way. But what was your question again? I don't even think I answered it. What? Oh, how long have we been doing this digital dating journey that you're calling it? So we started dating in December and met up for the first time in February. And we've been digital dating ever since and been creative. And find ways to journey through themes, through reading, through talking, all of it. So
it's beautiful. I mean, you can cook together as well, couldn't you? Perhaps, maybe follow a recipe together. And I know Tim has been on, dinner dates with friends, so you could eat together. Once you've cooked, and you can, maybe that'll be a bit of fun.
I think your boyfriend commented on an idea that we did. Was it the burger and whiskey night or something like that?
Yes.
Said, wait, we could have been having whiskey nights all this time.
Could turn out expensive though.
We were doing Friday night whiskey nights, and then it turned into stout night, and so that's our Tim. I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Have you tried digital dating at all?
Well, it depends what you mean by digital dating. I mean, it's kind of. I have tried to have relationships with people in long distance in the past, but it's never generally worked out or been a particularly good idea in my experience. But yeah, I mean, it's one of the things about social media and society now is that you aren't necessarily limited to people in your own town or village or local area for romance. So, I mean, even like Steve's not in Sheffield, is he? He's near-ish. He's not in your local town. He's not like the person in the local town that you wanted to kind of be in.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I mean, he's next town along. It's not too far. But we did meet on Bumble. So yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure about necessarily. I mean, the problem with like obviously UK and US is immigration. Ultimately, might be an issue, but. Like with anything though, any problem can be overcome if it's like love is your superpower. So yeah, but yeah, the answer is yes, and the sub answer is B. I don't really want to talk about it.
Well, you are a romantic at heart, Tim. I mean, with your book, with your book, Social Media Networking, there was a couple of wonderful stories in there about, how people came together. And in fact, one of the people that came forward and talked to me about being catfished. He's got a Hollywood ending as well. So, he met up with a childhood sweetheart, and now they're together, and, and their relationship has blossomed, and, and it's beautiful. So, dating can definitely work. I think it's a shame sometimes that people have been hurt by digital dating, and so they've said never again. And I really I feel sorry for them. It's their journey, but I know that, in fact, how Facebook pops up with reminders of things that you've done back in the day. It actually came up with an image today. 3 years ago, I actually put up a hi Mary. I actually put up an image of when I was married, and I put like a silhouette of my ex, and I said, I'm going to remember this day. So today was actually my wedding day of 16 years ago. And 3 years ago on Facebook, I said, I'm going to celebrate this day. And it kind of popped up with my, my wedding dress and all the rest of it. So even though, I was unexpectedly divorced in Australia, fighting immigration, living in this horrible place in like lots of spiders, and there were people on drugs who were knocking on my door, and all this kind of, I was in eating one meal a day because that was all I could afford, and I was obviously severely depressed at the time. I knew that, deep down, one day someone will be there for me, one day. I've always believed love conquers all. And I use that hashtag all the time, love conquers all. And, and he came to me eventually, which was great, when I nearly swiped left, but the universe said, no, I don't just give this guy a chance. So
I
yeah.
remember, like, because you told me you were going on a date at midday, and I messaged you on WhatsApp to say like 1:30 to say how's it going. And you say it's still going. I thought, okay, that's a good sign. Then I messaged you, I think at like 8 o'clock in the evening, and how was the day? And you say it's still going. And I'm like, okay. Then I messaged you at like 12:30 at night, and I said, how's the date going? She said, still going.
Yeah, it was
So,
wonderful.
yeah, I kind of thought,
Absolutely
yeah, well,
wonderful.
maybe there's some serious thing between those.
Yeah, it was wonderful. It was absolutely wonderful. Yeah, we'd connected pretty much very, very quickly. But I didn't want to get too excited, so I did put a few barriers up, you know, and I was too scared to think about that this could be the one, you know. And he'd also put some barriers up as well, you know, because he's been hurt in the past. And so when we met, it was almost like a formality because we'd already connected way before then, you know. So, but yeah, it was wonderful. Yeah, we met at 11, and then I think we finally got in a taxi at 3 a.m. or something like that. So yeah, it went very well.
So can I ask, where did you go on your first meetup date?
We went to a coffee shop that sells incredible tea. And then, so this is in December, I beg your pardon. And in December, they have a sort of kind of like German markets in Sheffield. So there's lots of places for people to, you know, get their Christmas shopping and all the rest of it. And they actually had a wonderful place that sold mulled wine and all sorts of other drinks as well. So we had a few drinks there. And then in Sheffield, there's a place called Division Street, which is where a lot of the cool bars are. So we sort of visited one after the other. Yeah, so that's what we did. Yeah.
Yeah.
we just chatted.
Have you met each other's friends and family?
Yes, so I invited him over actually just before Christmas to meet my sister and her family, which was lovely. And actually with COVID, I actually went into self-isolation before official lockdown just because I have asthma and I just, you know, were worried about my folks. So Steve very kindly bought some shopping over to us. And so he waved at my mum. That's a few months ago. Yeah, so that's that. So yeah, at some point in the future, we'll sort of, you know, get together and meet again. Yeah, so yeah,
that's exciting. I'm like you. I'm a romantic, and I believe in the happily ever after. And I know life is a journey and things happen along the way, but I do believe in that if we keep going and we keep trying, the universe brings us love when we're ready for it. And I am a mystical romantic. I get that. But I truly believe there's enough love stories out there to show us that it's true and it can happen. And a lot of it has to do with internal work, too. Have we done internal work on ourselves? And you mentioned that, May King. You said that you did a lot of therapy and worked on yourself.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. I mean, I never understood the term you've got to love yourself before you can love someone else. I didn't really understand it. And even now it's really a bit of a strange concept, but I did do a lot of work on myself. And in fact, after I went into therapy, we talked about all sorts, you know, talked about my business, talked about my personal life and all the rest of it. And it was just incredible. You know, just talking to a professional about it and having to deal with it. And, you know, we're used to Hollywood stars talking about going into therapy. We're not used to ordinary people, you know, talking about it. And I think we should, you know, we should be open to do that. And I think that, you know, we are getting there, you know, now that mental health is, you know, people are talking about it finally, you know, not just Hollywood A-listers, but celebrities, you know, footballers and, you know, and ordinary people are talking about, you know, mental health. I do believe that hopefully we will get to a point where people are comfortable in saying, I'm actually going to therapy, or I'm actually going, you know. And in fact, my therapist, when Steve came along, she actually has a new program, and it's based on the book which was made famous by Gwyneth Paltrow, which is Conscious Uncoupling. And so so my therapist said, well, now that you're embarking on a new relationship, I recommend that you both read this book. So I actually, mentioned it to Steve. I said, well, I'd like to try this therapy session together, where we both go and see Monica individually, but it's based on this book. And so we read various chapters and we go through the bits and pieces. And Steve was like, no, it's all right. No, I don't need therapy, thanks. So I went, well, just give it a try. And he did, and it opened up a lot of stuff in him that he thought had been resolved. It was incredible. And the same for me as well. I thought I'd, done the work and so on. And in fact, even now and again, Steve and I will say, oh, do you remember when Monica said this? I mean, we actually attended the session separately, which I think is important. But we refer to the book and we refer to the session. So even though we were in our relationship right at the start, by going into therapy, it really helped us to understand what things we could have potentially carried forward from our past and how to deal with that together in order to go forward. And it's incredible. So whenever I'm a little bit I don't know, I guess a little bit OTT over this, but when people are entering new relationships, I'm kind of like that born again Christian saying, you really had to read this book. You've got to read this book, and you've got to go and hire Monica because, I know therapy is probably not your thing because you're British, but seriously, it really helped Steve and I, and it was amazing because we tend to look at, rose-colored glasses, don't we? And we're in love and it's beautiful, and we think everything's amazing. And then there will be a period where, things might appear. You don't know, cracks might appear, and you don't want that to happen. So it's, as I say, incredible book. My therapist, absolutely incredible. I think it's really healthy to go into. We shouldn't go into therapy because we're broken. We should go into, it's like going to the gym, isn't it? Apparently, I don't go to the gym, but apparently, when you go to the gym, you go there for, to help you keep, healthy and all the rest of it. So going into therapy, when marriages are broken and you go into therapy, it's almost too late because the cracks are already so deep and ingrained. So going into therapy at the start, when you're still rose-colored tinted glasses and still in love and all the rest of it, but you can still talk sensibly about stuff. I think it's real. Well, for me, I think it was incredibly important, and Steve really enjoyed it. So I hope he doesn't mind me saying this. I'm sure he doesn't.
No, I think it's really good to share. And actually, we should put that on our links too, because it's important, like you said, to begin the journey fresh and new and as healthy as you can, and not bring that baggage on. Something that May King, I don't know if you knew this, but we brought my therapist on the show.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Yeah, we have my therapist
now, but
he's here.
He is your therapist.
That's amazing. I love that.
It was probably our most popular show as well.
Yeah,
right.
And so he talked about CPTSD, PTSD, all kinds of mental health challenges. And that was right in the midst of Black Lives Matter and also lockdown. And so he was able to touch upon the traumas that our entire world is inevitably going to have to deal with and work through. And I, for one, in the midst of COVID and lockdown, that's when I started seeing him, because I started to see old patterns creep up, and I am diagnosed CPTSD. And what happens is when you start to live your life through trauma, you respond with trauma, and you don't want to enter into a new relationship responding from a place of trauma from your past. And everyone has some sort of trauma, and I don't want to label that onto people, but the fact of the matter is we all have significant things that we've had to overcome or work through. And it's so important to be able to do that in a healthy way. And so I went into trauma therapy in the midst of COVID. I just don't work now.
Just go over some sort of alcoholic beverage you've been drinking.
And it's so important. It really is. And I was able to meet some other people and that are on a similar journey, working through PTSD, CPTSD, trauma, mental health challenges. We brought several people on. It's important.
Yeah. And I really love that, because I think that, you know, I should actually, earlier in the thread, I was talking about, you know, therapy is not exclusive to Hollywood A-listers. Ordinary people also, you know, sign up to it. And I shouldn't say ordinary, because we're not ordinary, Christelle. We're amazing, aren't we? You know, it's just we're not in the limelight yet. But we are to, you know, we're famous to somebody, right? But I think that, you know, there's a lot that we as Brits, Tim, we can learn from the Americans, right? Because you're so open, you're so positive, you're so, you know, you're willing to talk about those issues that we still have that sniff up the lip, you know, we still have that.
Sure, I'd necessarily agree, because certainly doing this show, I think it's just the Americans have got a different set of things that they don't talk about to what British
right,
people.
okay.
Okay. Right, there are things that British people can take from Americans, certainly in terms of openness to therapy, but I wouldn't necessarily hold up the Americans as examples. Well-rounded individuals right now.
Well, therapy is taboo in certain cultures within the US. It's something that you don't talk about because you're supposed to portray a perfect image. So not everyone, actually, something Hollywood that has done that is positive is they've set a precedence of going to therapy and making it okay. There's other cultures within America that wouldn't set that precedence, and it is taboo. So
yeah,
and Tim,
I think California is very much a therapy hotspot, which is probably a good thing, but I'm not sure about a lot of the rest of the US.
Okay,
that makes sense. So, what are things that you don't think we talk about, Tim? I'm curious.
I think a lot of the problem in the US is it's almost a mirror image of what May King was saying about positivity and the rest of it. I think there's a lot of negative denialism in the US. Negative things are just covered up. I mean, the number of people I've met, and then you discover that they've got a drinking problem, or they've got some sort of abuse in their family, or that drugs problems, and you hear none of this stuff. I mean, there is this opioid epidemic in the US, but you wouldn't know from social media. Nobody posts about the fact that they've got an opioid problem or whatever. And admittedly, we have had at least one guest who's admitted to having some sort of opioid problem on this show. So,
we did, yeah, we've had interesting guests talk about it.
So, but yeah, I mean, I think the emphasis on positivity is very good, but I think it almost sometimes it borders on like this almost sort of happy valley kind of everybody pretends to be really happy, and they're kind of they're underneath the facade that looks externally they're just like a total mess. And but I suppose, to be fair, social media does encourage that in general everywhere. So
yeah,
well, and I think you've raised a really good point, Tim. I think you know, for you know, my Chinese culture, we talk about balance in every aspect of life. You know, not just in food, but in the way that you are. And I think that I also need to remind myself that you will get really good days and you will get bad days, but the bad days are okay. So today was actually a bad day for me, unexpectedly. And in fact, I had a catch up with a friend, and I nearly cancelled on her. And she said, no, you know, let's have a chat. And she lifted me instantly. It was great. It was amazing. And I don't know why today was bad. I don't know whether it was because it's, you know, because of what popped up in Facebook earlier. But, you know, we can't be, if we're positive all the time, then like you say, Tim, there's a certain underlying denial there. We do go through ups and downs, and that's just part of life. It is just part of life.
I'm trying to find that balance online, because the truth is, and I'd love to hear your opinions on this, Tim and May King, because you are so active online. The truth is, we can be anyone we want to be online, and we find that to be the case. you can portray yourself however you want. And we've had a little bit of these discussions, Tim. But you might meet people in person and realize what's online is not the same as what's in person. And of course, we're not going to say, pop up maybe and say, today I had a horrible day, this is why, or yesterday I had this is all the bad things that happened to me. But we can portray whatever we want online, and that can be misleading.
Yeah. The greatest compliment that I get is people will meet me and they'll say, you're just the same online as you are, in real life. And I do want to portray that because, like Tim, I have met so many authentic people, and they're the most inauthentic person, when you meet them. And I don't want to bang on about my bad days because I don't think it's important. But sometimes I will sort of talk about stuff. And, as I'm sure, when you talk to, you mentioned that the episode with your therapist was probably, one of the most watched episodes. There's a reason for that, because people want to really relate to real people. So, when you asked me to come on your show to talk about this, of course, I was a little bit hesitant because, it's a part of my past that I'd rather forget. But if that one person watches the video and thinks, wow, that happened to yourself, and it happened to me, if I can help with some of the resources that I've given, then that's a good thing. And we need to talk more about this stuff, but not bang on about it, because there are people who bang on about their life and stuff. And I do, whilst I'm not a religious person, I do believe in the powers of the universe. And so, it's not as simple as thoughts become things. But if you do think about the negative, then there is almost an invitation for you to, take in more of that. And, so, but like I say, Tim has been such an incredible friend to me over the years. I've had some really, really down periods, and Tim knows. He just seems to know instinctively, and he'll send me a message and say, are you okay? And it's wonderful. If you've got wonderful friends like Tim, life's okay. It's amazing, because we need that support. We can't do this alone. Business, life generally, we can't do it alone. That's why love conquers all. But even with love, that we still need friends around us to help us that's right, love is our superpower. We need wonderful people around us, good friends, good family, loved ones to really support us on this journey called life.
That's so true.
Right. I'm going to check with May King. Can you hang on for another quarter of an hour or so?
Yeah, go on then. Just because it's you, of course.
Because we have got the very important show segment known as the quiz.
I need help
about films. So,
okay.
So, are you ready for the graphic? It's quiz time.
Quiz time.
Right, I'm going to get this to. I can manage to not drop it or
so can I just say, I'm so glad May King is here to help me today.
What am I helping you on? What's going on?
Right. Christelle was probably familiar with the show for the format of these quizzes. On the side here are 15 film titles, and you need to tell me, did they win best actress, best Oscar, best actor, or both best actor and best? And what you do is you go through and you give it each of you, and then in the end I give you the count of the number you got right. Now there's two ways we can do this. Either May King could go first and go through it, and we can get her count, and then Christelle does it and get her count, and one of you will be the winner. Or you can do it cooperatively.
Let's do it together. Let's do it together. Yeah.
If anyone watching wants to jump in and help us, you know how this goes. You help me. And Tim laughs at me, and that's
And I'll probably end up giving you. Oh, the trouble with this configuration is that quiz time is covering up. Hang on, let me get rid of that so you can actually see the. There you go. Quiz time's gone, but you can actually see. So, the first one is Gone with the Wind. Did that win Best Actor, Best Actress, or both?
Wow. Well, I know it won lots of awards, and in fact, though, it was the first Black Oscar went to I can't remember. Oh, I can't believe I remember. Anyway, that's totally irrelevant. But it was Vivian Lee and oh gosh, who's the guy who played Rhett Butler? Gosh, that's shocking. I can see his face. Did he win? I'm going to say both on that one. What about you, Christelle?
I actually think both too.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
It's a classic, but that doesn't necessarily mean my
Doesn't
way.
mean it's right. Doesn't mean it's wrong. I'm not going to give you any guidance until we get to half an hour in, and then I'm like thinking.
So One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Do you know? I don't remember it. I don't remember any. Shocking. I don't remember the film. I only remember Jack Nicholson being in it.
He was in a mental asylum, I think, wasn't he?
I
think it's one of those kind of whether it's all like he's mad or the people are mad sort of thing. It's like, I think I saw it years ago. It's one of those films I should probably.
I'm going to say Best Actor for that one.
I agree. I was going to say Best Actor. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. High Noon. I have no idea about that film.
It's
a Western.
It's a Western.
Western, right? Okay.
How can you not know about High Noon?
Sorry, Western's a genre of films I never really got into. So I'm going to be really sexist and say that was there a female actor in there? I'm going to say Best Actor.
Best Actor.
Yeah.
I don't.
What do you think?
It's rare that a Western wins an Oscar that I can remember. Well, I don't even know what year. I agree. I'm going with Best Actor.
Yeah. So Roman Holiday was the wonderful Gregory Peck, wasn't it? And Audrey Hepburn. Would they have won both, or would both of them win? Yeah, I'm going to say yes. And if they didn't, why not?
Okay, I'm going to be super honest. I'm being honest.
Yes to both, or yes to one or two.
Christelle, what were you thinking?
No. I'm being honest. I'm letting May King take the lead on this quiz because films are her thing, and they're not mine. I want to see this behind.
Okay.
Both. Did you say both?
Yeah. Okay. It happened one night. Not sure. Don't know that film.
It's from the 1930s. I'd never heard of it either, but apparently it was quite big in the 1930s.
We haven't had an actress winner yet, so shall we just purely out?
Well, this is Best Actress. Whether it won both or not, I don't know, but I think it was Best.
So what should we go for?
Best Act. We're saying actor and actress is the same thing, correct? I hope so. Best Actor. I'm going with Best Actor.
Okay.
Well,
no,
actress.
Actor or actress.
You're separating it. I thought it was the same.
No. Well, that's the whole point of the thing. So it's best. So
let's say actress.
Either the man won the best actor Oscar, or the woman won the best actress Oscar, or the film won both. So both the male and the female won it.
Okay. All right. Best actress.
You're just going to put best actress because it's like, yeah.
No, I'm letting King describe the films in detail and give us the.
Now, Annie Hall, that's a Woody Allen film, isn't it? And I can't. Is it Diane Keaton who is in that? I'm really not sure.
Yeah, I wouldn't be. I don't think I've ever seen it. I know it.
No, I've not seen it.
This was largely from Wikipedia. This was assembled these lists, but I have.
Well, let's go for best actress on that one, shall we? Apologize if it wasn't Diane Keaton. No. Kramer versus Kramer. Oh wow! So this is Dustin Hoffman and Mel Streep.
One of them had gotten best actor, actress.
I'm going to say both. Shall we say both on that?
Let's go with both.
Yeah, great.
Yeah,
Silence of the Lambs.
at least one of the. I mean, by the nature of the quiz, at least one of the.
So, Silence of the Lambs is Jodie Foster and Anthony Hopkins.
I think he's the best actor, but I'm not positive. By the way, I'm still terrified of that movie. Just so we're all.
Oh, it's incredible! It's incredible. Shall we say? Yeah, let's say both on that one.
Okay.
I love Jodie Foster, and again, if she didn't get it, why not? Reversal Fortune. Never heard of this film. What's this about?
It's a courtroom. It's actually a very, very good film. Jeremy Irons in it, and a woman who I can't remember. But it's a legal. Well, I could spoil it for you. There's a big twist.
All right, don't spoil it. No spoilers.
Yeah, I think it won Best Film as well. So.
Date night. Your date night list. Reversal of Fortune.
Yeah. Well, I do like Jeremy Irons, but you can't remember the lady. So shall we say Best Actor for that one?
Go for it.
Yeah, I mean, this is probably the best way to work out some of the answers. It's like, is the film one that's just got it's all about a woman. There's one obvious one in here where it's clearly all about a woman and there wouldn't be a man. And
right,
so,
Darkest Hour.
For example, The Darkest Hour is a film about the Second World War.
Yeah, and that was Churchill, wasn't it? That was Gary Oldman. Did he win an Oscar for that?
Well, it's either him or a woman won it for that, or both.
Shall we say Best Actor, Christelle? What do you think?
You go for it. You go for it. Just so you know, to be honest, I thought my brain was totally out of it, and I thought you were asking us to say, did this movie win like the overall big award, or did it win Best Actor Actress? That's where I was up until like 2 questions ago.
About the Oscars is that it's always had Best Actor and Best Actress. It's not like
it's really strange.
They started off with the men and then they added the women later on. It was kind of like since 1930. First one they had Best Actor and Best Actress.
Yeah, right on Golden Pond. That's Mr. Fonda, isn't it? Was there? I've never watched the film.
Yeah, it's one of those films I don't think I've ever watched either. So
let's go Best Actor for that one. Oh, it's shocking. I feel really bad that I don't know it.
Shakespeare in Love. Actress, Best Actress.
Gwyneth Paltrow, wasn't it? Shakespeare in Love. Yeah, let's go for Best Actress in that one. Mystic River. So that was a Clint Eastwood film, wasn't it?
I'm thinking Best Actor.
Yeah, I've forgotten his name now. As Good as It Gets. I don't know that film.
I think that's another Jack Nicholson.
I'm always going to assume Jack Nicholson won Best Actor, but it's probably wrong.
There's a lot of male actors in here, male Oscars in here. We've got it completely wrong, or
now, not meaning to give you the game away, but
are we wrong?
It's probably one you could work out.
Yeah, Renée Zellweger was incredible in that film, Judy. So yeah, Best Actress in that one. Okay, how did we do?
Let's see this final results.
8.
Oh, bugaboo. Right.
Oh, okay.
What did we get wrong?
Well,
can you give us a hint? Is any of the boths should only be one?
Yes. There are 5 of each, actually. There are 5 men, there are 5 women, and there are 5 boths.
Right.
You've got well, let's just say 2 of the boths. Well, no, 3 of the boths are wrong.
Right. Okay. So let's say Silence of the Lambs.
Actor, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Was that Jodie Foster?
Yeah. Well, Silence of the Lamb is the one you got right.
Oh.
That was that's Jodie Foster and Anthony Hopkins both won.
Right. So Kramer versus Kramer.
Yeah, only one of the 2 big actors in that one, which is surprising to me. Actually, I put it in as a deliberate one you'd expect both would have won.
Yeah. So did Meryl Streep win that one then?
Well, I think one of the big, I think there was some sort of issue between Meryl Streep and the Academy, so she didn't win.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah, I think there was like some
right.
long-running thing that they never gave her the Best Actress award for years because she pissed off somebody in the Academy somewhere or something.
Wow.
I think there's some underlying story. So it was only Dustin Hoffman.
Ah, Dustin Hoffman. Oh, she was incredible in that film. Was incredible. Okay, so then another one of the boths. Did you say that we got wrong?
Well, basically the other two boths are wrong.
Right. So was it Roman Holiday? Sorry, Audrey Hepburn or Gregory Peck?
Yeah. Which one are you going to go for?
Let's say. Sorry, I feel like I'm dominating here, Christelle.
No, you can dominate, but I'm a fan of. This is how I choose. I like one or the other better, and then they're the winner. So I would have said Audrey Hepburn only because I'm a fan, but that's how I choose. You know your films.
And is that right?
Yeah, he's right. I'm giving it you all day, but it's like obviously, Gone with the Wind is only one of the two won it.
So Vivian Leigh or Clark Gable?
Oh gosh, I think she probably did.
Yeah.
But considering the time, though,
My dearie couldn't give a thing about the.
Oh wow! Isn't that amazing? So. Okay, so
but you have got a lot. There are 4 other boths in this category that you haven't got yet.
Are we right with Gone with the Wind? Best?
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So there was a couple of.
There's 4 other ones that won both.
I'll just go ahead and just do the thing, Tim.
Well, let's see how many you got right now. You got 11 right now.
Show us, Tim, the answers. I have no idea.
It Happened All Night is another both because that was the reason I put it. I was telling you it's from the 1930s. I was searching. There's not that many that won both actually. Right. There's a lot more common lately.
Yeah.
Darkest Hour's right. On Golden Pond both won it. Both Jane Fonda and her husband.
Right. I've never seen that film, so I just know of it.
I think As Good as It Gets won both.
Was that
yes,
oh, there we go.
So we've got one wrong somewhere. Where's the one wrong? I don't remember. I might have to look up the answers.
Oh, that's amazing. That is amazing.
I think it might be Mystic River.
Help you.
Okay.
The one we have not heard of. Oh, no, it's not.
Put it back.
Oh, you put it to actress by accident.
It's only one. It's the one. He's going to look it up for us.
Yeah, I might have to like unshare it for just a little while, so I can and.
So
anyway,
you've had the joy of doing the quiz that I've been. The quizzes either go really well or they go really badly.
That was a lot of fun. It tested my film knowledge. Obviously, needs for improvement, room for improvement rather, but it was a lot of fun. So thank you for that. That was incredible.
Yeah, it was one Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, one both. That was the one that.
Interesting.
I wasn't sure I might have to Google it just to who.
I'm gonna have to Google that as well. I feel bad that we don't know the actress as well as the actor. That's yeah. Oh well.
We need to work on that. I feel as if we now have confirmed I need May King helping me on these quizzes.
I think you've got to stop paying her to come onto the comments on Thursday.
May King, thank you for hanging out with us.
You are so welcome. I hope people enjoyed this broadcast. It was good to see Mary in the comments. That was lovely. If anyone's got any questions at all, I'm only a tweet away. Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook.
Where can we find you? Where on Twitter? What is your Twitter handle?
Making Tea, which is MAYKINGTEA. I'm also on Instagram as well, and Making Tsang on LinkedIn if you want to catch me there as well.
Yeah,
Okay.
wonderful. Thank you, Tim. Thank you, everyone.
And
We'll see you.
thank you so much for being on the show. And I'm just going to go and hopefully not remember to stop the broadcast this time.
Well, yeah,
Sorry about it. But you'll notice you're in the outro video as well. So
I did see that. I did see that. Thank you so much.
right, here we go.
This is terrifying for me.
I've made more money in the last 3 years than I did in the previous 7.
Cliche shit, you know.